Patients, we will get started with Mark Weiser and Anthony Dasher.
Hey, Lewis, how's it going?
Doing great yourself.
Good. I want to ask you, I guess you played, I guess it was one high school season in Texas. I guess that's kind of your home state now, right? What are your thoughts on Texas joining the SEC as well as Oklahoma? What do you think those schools might bring to this conference?
They bring something different. We know they're known for offense, scoring a whole lot of points and making big plays in terms of passing. That's bringing something new to SEC because SEC is a very defensive conference where it's defense first. So I feel like this is something different we're gonna see.
Hey, Lewis, good to see you, man.
You do.
Ask you about JT just a little bit as far as some of these 7-7 summer drills you had or went on. I understood he kind of likes to talk a little bit out there, kind of good natured ribbing, I guess, to the secondary or the set defense. I wonder if that's something you can kind of talk about a little bit.
So it's probably both. It goes both ways. It's kind of he's a competitor, and once he makes a good play, he's gonna talk. And once I make a good play, I'm gonna talk to him also. So it kind of keeps the fire going and makes practice fun.
And just one quick follow up: was there been anybody on as far as receivers goes that maybe kind of gave you some trouble during 7-on-7s?
Never.
Never.
No.
Okay. Thanks, man.
All right, up next, let's go to Charles Odom and then Mike Griffith.
Well, I'm wondering, are you a NFL draft guy? Do you like to watch it? And if you did watch it this year, what was it like seeing all your secondary guys going off the board?
Oh, it was amazing, man, because you play with those guys and you know them on a personal level, not just football, you know what I mean? So it's like to see them finally get drafted, and that's something they've wanted to reach their whole life. That's a goal of theirs. And to see them finally reach that, it brings joy to my heart. And also next year or whenever it is, I'll also wish the same for myself and the other guys I'm playing with. It's going to be an amazing thing.
Hey, Lewis, I know you probably watched a little bit of Clemson film, and they have a new quarterback. What have you seen, and what are some of the things about that Clemson team that you expect to be a challenge in the opener?
Of course, as we already know, they're a very explosive team. They bring a whole lot of trouble to a lot of teams they've played, a lot of big name teams they've played, and they've won a whole lot of big games. So it's something we're really focused on in terms of watching film. With me, I'm watching a whole lot of film on them. Their quarterback, he's very big, explosive. He can run, very strong arm, has a cannon. He brings a whole lot to the table for their offense, and it's a challenge. So it's something that we really need to focus on, and we will focus on.
All right, up next, let's go to Seth Emerson and then Chip Towers.
Hey, Lewis, if you remember back this time last year, we weren't sure there was going to be a season. There's a lot of debate over whether there should be a season. Now this year, a year later, looking back, number one, was it worth it in your mind to have that season? And number two, where we are now with all the changes in college football, did that kind of help make it worth it?
It was worth it, in my opinion. Worth it in a lot of ways. Coaches got to coach. Players got to play, and a lot was done with the circumstances at that time. Well, now there's vaccines where there might be a whole lot of outbreaks right now, but I think it's more controllable than last time. So we kind of know what to expect now, and we're going to move forward accordingly the best way possible, so this year can be a success.
Yeah, Lewis, I asked the inevitable question, I guess, about the two transfer additions, Tyke and DK. What have been, you've probably had the best vantage point of anybody of how those guys are fitting in. What has been your view of that? And you talked about watching all those guys go in the NFL draft. How well do you think this is going to address it along with the younger guys having to step up?
Repeat that one more time.
How do you think they're going to be able to address all those guys you referred to leaving in the NFL draft, the additions of them and the young guys, of course?
Before I go, I like your cut. I like your haircut. It looks real nice.
I like yours too.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
But yeah, we did lose a whole lot of talent, a whole lot of guys from last year. But I feel like we've made up in a big way with young guys we have, you know what I mean? So we use what we have, even if it may be getting guys from other places. But we use them to their strengths. We use them the best way we can. And we're getting better and better every day, 1% at a time. And that's all that matters at the end of the day.
But Tyke and Darian Kendrick in particular, what have been your views of those two guys fitting in?
They're who they say they are. We kind of knew what we were getting, and based off of practices and everything we've kind of been doing and workouts and whatever, they're sound guys and they bring a whole lot to the table.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, up next, Dean Leggy and then Ryan Curley.
Lewis, I wanted to ask about JT's confidence. That's been discussed this morning. What's it like dealing with him in 7-on-7 or just in straight up regular practice when he's hitting guys and making plays?
JT's a different kind of quarterback in a way because he brings a whole lot of swag also to he brings a California swag with him. He's very laid back, but he knows when to enjoy the moment, enjoy the time. And during practices or whatever, when he makes big plays or probably a mistake, he knows how to carry himself when things aren't going well and when they are going well. And that's one thing I really like about him. And he's really has taken command as a quarterback, and he has all of our respects.
Hey, Lewis, who in the secondary are we not talking about enough? Everybody seems to want to talk about Tyke Smith and Darian Kendrick. Who else should we be highlighting?
Good question. I think we're going to see more of the young guys. You know what I mean? To see what the young guys have to offer and what they bring to the table. Of course, with fall camp, a lot of people are going to get to see that, and they're going to get talked about more. But I feel it's mostly the younger guys. I can't say any names in particular, but because they all do different things and bring different type of skill and to the table. But those are the kind of the younger guys.
All right, up next, let's go to Connor Riley and then Vance Levy.
Hey, Lewis, I wanted to ask you about another transfer you guys brought in, Rick Gilbert. What have you seen so far from him in 7-on-7 drills you guys have worked with him?
He's as advertised. He brings a whole lot to the table in terms of offense. He's big. He can move. He's a big kid, and he can really move. He's very talented guy. You know what I mean? And quiet, real quiet, but he does his business. He knows what he's here for, and pretty much it.
Hey, Lewis, since January, we've heard a lot of talk about everyone finding out their why. Are you willing to share what your why is? And then on the field, what would you say is your biggest strength? And then as you going into this season, what do you think you need to work on the most?
Why? We do this thing here. It's called Skull Sessions. It's working our core values as a team. And the why is a very big important thing because when things get hard or gets tough, your why kind of pushes you. And I would say my why is, of course, my mom and my daughter. Those two people are my why. And, when things get hard, I kind of can push myself because I know my mom has been through things for me, and she never complained, and she just kept pushing through. And of course, my daughter, she's someone that I'm gonna go through a brick wall for. But in terms of on the field, my strengths are that I'm everywhere at all times. That's pretty much all I can say. I'm everywhere at all times. I'm willing to do the hard things. You know, a lot of guys aren't willing to stick their nose in there, and I'm willing to do that. I need to be more vocal, in my opinion, and I'm working on that. That's something I'm working on every day, and it'll work its way out.
All right, we have time for one more question, and we'll go to Jed May.
Yeah, Lewis, I guess just following up on the why question there. I mean, have there been times maybe last year or over the summer, whatever, where, you know, thinking of your mother and your daughter has really, I guess, gotten you out of a tough spot or really helped you push? I mean, are there any specific moments you can think of where they really helped you out mentally?
Team Run. Team Run, oh my gosh. Team Run really tests us mentally. Well, tests me mentally. I mean, in my opinion, I think I'm very well conditioned, but we get obstacles and challenges thrown our way a whole lot. And the best way for me is to probably think about them and to adjust the best way I can to push through and, you know, win, I would say. And that's pretty much it.
All right. Thank you very much, Lewis.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Lewis.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to have a short break with Coach Smart.